Liverpool Fan in Japan.
Hello YouTube, Liverpool Fan in Japan here, the Miyazaki Man Si. Up the shiny one on a slot. Otaku no waru means shiny. Oh yes, so we've just beaten Paris Saint-Germain 1-0. Champions of France, beaten them, clean sheet. Just Alisson Becker, Brazilian Jesus, let's thank the Lord Fowler himself. Beaten Manchester City twice, done the double over them. 2-0 and 0-2. Clean sheets both times. Champions of England, battered, demolished with ease. Germany, Bayer Leverkusen, a 4-0 rout. Luis Diaz on fire with a hat-trick, but he actually scored them from the left wing position, not necessarily number 9 position, even though he started there as well. Champions of Germany, demolished. Real Madrid, champions of Spain. That result was so nice. I'm eating chocolate churros. Churros, yay. Muy bien, muy bien. Demolished with a clean sheet. We've conceded 0 goals. Now, the easy opt-out now, especially against PSG, that's a bit of an anomaly. But what I want to get to will be the main point of this video. Alisson Becker, sure, saved our bacon. You'd think it's Virgil van Dijk, Konate, with Trent and Robertson. Now, people always question Trent's defensive capabilities. He proved he's a quality defender when he puts his mind to it, when he's fully fit against PSG. We needed him. Robbo's had his critics this season, the Scottish Braveheart, Andy Robertson. However, he's part of a leadership crew, he's experienced, he knows his role, he knows his limitations, he does his job well. He no longer bombs up and down the left flank. But the one key aspect of our title charge, our title aspirations, is consistency in midfield, the ever-presence. Gravenberch is always there at the base of midfield. Szoboszlai is always there in the 10 position. And I did the whole video on Dominic Szoboszlai, the Hungarian Superman. I will do Maka and Endo very shortly. Thank you for supporting the channel and letting me know that you'd be interested in that. And then one of Curtis Jones and Alexis Majestic McAllister, World Cup winner, right? It's that midfield that gives us the basis for everything that we succeed with, in terms of offensive transition, defensive transition, shielding the back four, and contributing to the attack, getting the ball to the prominent areas where we can go from there. They can also score a goal, they can defend, and they act as a unit. That whole summer transfer window last season with Messrs. George Schmatka, you know, with a big old cigar in Mallorca or Ibiza or wherever, with a laptop out drinking his tequila sunrise. Jurgen Klopp had his hand in transfers as well, rebuilt the entire midfield. Now let's bring up the metrics, let's bring up the statistics here. Gravenberch, 34 million, the final farewell present for Jurgen Klopp, handed over to Arne Slot, his countryman. Arne Slot has remolded him, reimagined him from a box-to-box, all-around dominator to a playmaker at the base of the midfield who can bypass the midfield with his dangly, gangly legs, running past with power, technical specimen, great first touch. He's getting there with the destroying aspect as well. That vine whip, you know, Bulbasaur, dangling the leg in, snapping the ball away. Konate, Van Dijk picking up the pieces. 34 million, bargain. Bayern Munich didn't know how to utilize him. Thomas Tuchel, what can you say? Wasted Gravenberch, a year of Gravenberch's development. But look, he's now on the world stage and he's here to stay. Alexis McAllister, 34 million, World Cup winning Alexis McAllister, signing him before wanting to sign his partner Caicedo as well. How much was Caicedo? I think Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez, best part of £240 million. 240 million pounds. Wowzers. That's basically our whole transfer budget overhaul for the midfield, plus a Jude Bellingham for Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. And they're not compatible. They don't work well together. They needed a Conor Gallagher in that midfield to really lift them up, right? It's because we had that established relationship with Brighton, and we gave them good money, good plausibility for rebuilding the team as well. We've done them favors in the past, and we had a good relationship with the agents on McAllister that we knew about a release clause. 35 million for McAllister, 34 million for Gravenberch, and 60 million for Dominic Szoboszlai. Now, you think it's easy, just pay the release clause. Well, anyone could have paid a release clause, but we saw the opportunity that Dominic Szoboszlai, with his running power, his rocket shot, releasing the Kraken, his ability to play on the whips, his hard-working endeavour, his beautiful, gorgeous, handsome face and chiselled jaw Superman-esque, Hungarian captain, ability to lure Milos Kerkez in the summer. Let's get onto that in another video. Yes, Dominic Szoboszlai, key ingredient, high ceiling, well-rounded player, endless stamina, super model good looks, right? He's the total package, selling the shirts in Hungary as well, local celebrity. And who can forget Man Mountain Wataru Endo, the enforcer, the engine, the closer, the cleaner, for 16 million smackers, 31 years old, 32 coming soon, a young 30 because he hadn't played top level that long. Stuttgart's captain, Japan national captain, crunching in the tackle, demolishing Manchester City's midfield. He is here to stay as well. He is now making himself a prominent member of the squad to close out the game. We've never lost a game when Wataru Endo comes on. In fact, we've barely lost a goal. I think we've lost one goal. Ipswich comes to mind. Ipswich comes to mind. That was when I was having the surgery in Japan, in Tokyo, in the hotel. I think we conceded a goal. Yeah, by Ipswich. So Endo is the insurance policy. When Endo comes on, the shop is closed for business. You ain't coming in anymore. We're only going one direction, out the door, to your goal, to score the goals. Yes. So that midfield overhaul gives us the basis to succeed. But why? Why is this midfield so good? Why is this probably the best midfield in the world right now? We used to sing about the best midfield in the world. Xabi Alonso, Momo Sissoko, Steven Gerrard, Javier Mascherano, right? But as good as they were specialist. Alonso, a deep-lying playmaker with a long ball pass master. Momo Sissoko, a roaming destroyer, not so good in the build-up or the pass. Can't score goals either. Javier Mascherano can't score goals. A roaming destroyer, rugged, dogged, always presents himself, bite, and a great presser. Gerrard, Captain Fantastic. He can do everything. Very multifaceted, right? You look at Jurgen Klopp's midfield, winning successful midfield, right? Fabinho, at one point, the best defensive midfielder in the world. Jordan Henderson, now he has attacking capabilities. He can cross. He is a pseudo right-sided midfielder, a true right-sided midfielder. Intelligent, responsible, covers for Trent, allows Trent to offer attacking capabilities, but he can cross, he can score, and on occasion, he does a bit of everything, box to box, a roaming destroyer and presser. Gini Wijnaldum truly is multifaceted because he started as a 10 and a winger for PSV Eindhoven and for Newcastle. He can score. He's got a long shot, great heading ability, as we saw against Barcelona. Great engine, great in the tackle, great closing out passing lanes. Responsible, high IQ, simple passer, keeps it safe. You can't dispossess him. Great presser as well. Very, very important. Oxlade-Chamberlain could shoot a long shot, could run through the mid with running power. Not scared to put in the tackle, but he'd done his own knee in against Roma, right, with a ill-fated tackle. It was a really risky tackle, the outside of the foot, right, stretching. He's multifaceted as well, but they weren't that multifaceted. When you look at multifaceted, you look at Leon, Juninho Pernambucano, a roaming playmaker with the deadliest free kick in history, can play the through ball, can play the ball between the lines, not afraid of a tackle as well. Mahamadou Diarra, a roaming destroyer, powerhouse of a player, kind of like a Sissoko kind of player as well, but pretty decent in the build-up. And then Michael Essien, a true jack of all trades, not necessarily master of none, but let's say 8 out of 10 out of everything, right? And then Essien goes to Chelsea. Then you have Makaleli, Essien, and Lampard. True balance, a midfield destroyer who roams around and can press in Makaleli, the big sausage. Michael Essien, roaming destroyer, and Lampard. He isn't shy of putting in the hard graft and hard work, making himself as an option as well. Long shooting capability, long passing capability, total rounded player. Lampard, not the quickest, but he puts in hard yards and graft as well. Added Michael Ballack to the mix, and wow, Michael Ballack was truly multifaceted. Defensive midfield, attacking midfield, shooting, scoring, penalties, heading. Captain Fantastic, Michael Ballack was underrated. Who was better, Michael Ballack or Roy Keane? Let me know in the comments below. It's a tough one. They're both good, right? They're both good. They're both mean. They're both consistent. They both got high temperament and tough mentality. The Real Madrid dominating midfields, Modric, Toni Kroos, Casemiro. You chuck in there kind of Valverde, Ceballos, anyone else you want to put in that midfield, but they can do a bit of everything. They can all sit in the double pivot. They can all progress forward. Casemiro less so, but Casemiro has a shot and he has a header and he can play in the final third, a bit of playmaking as well. But Modric, multifaceted, can do absolutely everything, faster than Kroos. Kroos has probably got better ball striking technique, but Modric was the absolute don as well. Geniuses. Then you look at Barcelona, Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets, tiki-taka supreme. They can all score. Iniesta, the most offensively capable of the lot, can dribble as well. Xavi, the tempo maestro. Busquets, the tempo maestro. Destroyer, slow as molasses, aerially dominant, first touch, one-touch ball playing. Fantastic. They can all play in all positions in midfield. Now that's where we get onto the Liverpool midfield. I'm not going to bring up the tactics board to show you just how multifaceted these midfielders are, which is why Arne Slot has the ability, and he's unlocked it, by the way, with his tactical acumen, has the ability to play as many different styles as necessary to win a game. He's not wedded to one style. He can now sit back, absorb the punishment, keep the energy in legs, keep the stamina, show that we are a fortress. Can you break down a fortress? Our battalion, marching as one together in the transitions. It's a total 11-man press, including Alisson Becker as the sweeper keeper as well. On the transition, they shoot forward, including the midfield, including the defensive line. They shoot forward and camp on the halfway line. Because of the fact that the midfield, including Endo and Gravenberch, Curtis Jones, everyone in that midfield is capable of offensive and defensive contributions. That is why the team is so fluid, so silky, so dominant. And this type of multifaceted midfield is built for a shiny era. It's not a one and done, one league and that's it. This is built for sustained success. Let's get to the tactics board right now. But just before we do me a favor, smash a like on the video, right? Every single person, I want to see a like per view because it really helps this channel grow. It really helps the video being seen. And if you enjoy this content, it's the channel Substance in Abundance. The cream of the crop! And there's lots of great content coming up. So please do subscribe as well. And if you're feeling extra supportive, for £3 a month, you can join the YouTube membership where I've translated Wataru Endo's vlogs, his books, his newsletter, give my tactical masterclass on formation transitions. And I've got an upcoming book as well coming soon, working my way through that, maybe 30% done at the moment. So thank you so much for support. If you want to get one of these shirts as well, that would help a lot. Links in the description and below. Let's get into the tactics board. Let's start with our most underrated member of the midfield, right? He was rated for a period when he was starting for Jurgen Klopp and crunching everybody, right? But he seems to be underloved and underrated until very recently when he's coming on as the cleaner, closing out the matches. Wataru Endo is super multifaceted. You just don't know it because he started as a centre-back, a ball-playing centre-back from the back, like Roberto Ayala, like Sandro Martinez for Man United, possibly. Not really Mihailovic pinging the ball long, but he plays the ball through the lines to the fullbacks. He can go into sweeper. He can step into midfield. And obviously we know he can step into midfield because he plays defensive midfield now. He plays at fullback. He can play at both fullback, kind of like Phil Neville, multifaceted. Jamie Carragher started at left back before going right back to centre back, but Jamie Carragher actually started striker. But you're not going to call Carragher multifaceted, but Endo truly was multifaceted because from the defensive midfield position, that's only where he played for Liverpool, covering the lines, roaming the destroyer, filling in the gaps, joining in and double pivot with McAllister on occasion. But what you don't know is for Japan, he plays as a number 6, but his starting position is almost here. Because what he has to do is he has to join in the line. Now, the Asian League isn't the strongest in terms of the nations that you're up against, but even against Australia, even against the other stronger Asian teams like South Korea as well, right? Endo plays box to box between the lines for the fact that he has a penetrating through ball. He can distribute wide. He can play it through the fullback into the outside as well. His shot is decent. Now, it's not the most powerful shot, but it's accurate. You saw his curler against Fulham as well. He has a drive on occasion, but once again, it's not the most powerful. He really needs to come onto it. But his curling shot and his shot technique is fantastic. You saw in pre-seasons as well. He has a cute dinked through ball in between the lines. However, he is not as strong as Curtis Jones, McAllister, or Szoboszlai in the offensive area. Saying that though, there are assets that he has that are stronger. He has a better through ball. Believe it or not, you believe me, he has a better through ball than Dominic Szoboszlai. You can even prove that from the base of midfield. If Endo and Szoboszlai are together at the base of midfield, who is likelier to play the ball between the lines to find number 10? It's Endo. Endo's the line breaker from the deep position. Well, a lot of time because he's played there a lot more than Szoboszlai. But Endo is multifaceted. He can play the ball through the lines. He can ping it to the whips. Now, it's not going to be a Jabi Alonso-esque, massively backspinned, over the top, high arc dipping cross ball, because even Van Dijk can't play that ball. It's more similar to a long pass crossed ball, a kind of lateral cross to the other side, out wide shift. He can even, on occasion, scuttle the ball if you want a low Thiago-esque scuttle to a running ball here. But that's not his role. And it's a higher risk play because it's not something he does all the time. He just has it in his locker. But that's why I'm saying that he can operate in the whole periphery of the field with his most effective positions being in and around here, starting from that block here. Because you've even seen in the closing stages, he's just game intelligent. Even though he's not going to get the ball, he will make the overlapping run for the space for someone to come inside, for someone to join in as well. He's very happy doing his part for the team because he is an enabler. Hard to say. An enabler is Wataru Endo, and he's multifaceted. He has shooting capability. He's a monster in the air. He scored, 2-headed goals for Liverpool already. He's a threat in the air. In defensive clearance, he's a threat in the box as well. And we know he crunches the tackles and covers the line as well. One thing about Wataru Endo that people underestimate, his reading of the game means that when he is here and the play is here, and the ball is here, he knows he's going to slide in and make the tackle there or make the tackle there. You just watch it. You just watch it in the PSV match. And I'm going to do a whole series on how you can preempt where you're going to make your tackle and you're going to influence the play based on experience and the positions of the kind of passing patterns of the opposition as well. You can see it from the bench, especially when you come off the bench, you can see the patterns of play and where the extra man, spare man is, and that's where you're going to crunch. That is why when Van Dijk told him to man mark Cunha, Endo said, no, I stay in this position in front of the defence because I know when Cunha rotates into my zone of influence, bang, he's gone. He's out of there. Hit for 6. So that's Wataru Endo. McAllister, the Mac attack. He's multifaceted in a way that I don't need to explain because he played 6 for Jurgen Klopp. He's kind of transitional in the box-to-box with Rodrigo de Paul and Enzo Fernandez. They're multifaceted as well. That's why they won the World Cup. He facilitates as well, but he has great ability to control the tempo. Now, I think he's a better tempo controller than Endo because Endo is a bit too slow on the ball pace. He wants to play it too safe, whereas McAllister is not afraid to take the risque balls, but Endo and Maka are in the walls and get battered physically from all sides. And every time Maka gets battered, he gets angrier and Liverpool end up winning. So long may it continue. Just batter him, just don't injure him. So the good thing about Maka is double pivot in this position here. But you also remember last season on Jurgen Klopp, when we had most of our success, he was deployed as the right-sided Mazzala 10, right? The half 8 position. It wasn't a full 8. He was almost in this position here, sacrificing Dominic Szoboszlai to do the dirty Wijnaldum role. The dirty Wijnaldum role, what a role here. Because McAllister's ability, right, to shoot with an arrow shot, to arc it into there, as we saw with Salah's pullback, obviously is closer to goal there. His ability to hit the ball through the lines onto an on-running runner. He is, in our whole squad right now, the best player who can hit a through ball with the right tempo, with the right spin, with the right control. He's a little maestro. He's our number 10. And he really is deserving of the 10 shirt because he plays like a 10, even though he doesn't play as a central 10. Because this position is so specialist now, since you're literally sitting and being sat on by the number 6 and the central defender stepping forward, like Virgil van Dijk did against Phil Foden. It's so hard to play the 10, but in that position, he was super effective. And you do find him occasionally popping up in this position to give balance to the side, right? But he's not effective going out right. He just offers an extra man like Endo can do. In the box area as well, he's not super effective because he hasn't got the most nimble footwork and the most skillful footwork, but his shooting is underrated. His shooting technique is fabulous. He's a long shooter as well. His long balls through the lines are immaculate, and what can you say? All-around player, super important player, our tempo maestro, our controller. And when he gets on the ball and when he dominates, we really feel it. We know in defensive transition he's good. In our box, not so effective, isn't so effective at clearing the ball aerially, but game intelligent, very game intelligent, always in the right position, closing off the passing lanes. We know Maka is well-rounded as well. Let's come on to Gravenberch. So Gravenberch is an interesting one, special gravy. He's come into his own in this particular season under Arne Slot, because Arne Slot knows with his physical, defensive, technical attributes and God-given gifts, he is the person who can bring the ball laterally and probe, and just when you think you can nick in there, he's going to turn you and he's bypassed your press, because now he's an on-rushing, engaging Gravenberch that someone has to stop before he plays a prominent ball. His through ball playing ability is great as well. Not as great as a McAllister, but then again, McAllister is a World Cup winner from the central midfield position. His shooting could do with some work. Now, he's got the power in the shot, but he's not accurate. He's not that accurate. He will ping it and it goes there. He'll ping it and it go over the bar. He really has a powerful shot. It's something he needs to add to his game. Fabinho had the long shot from the DM position. Didi Hamann had the long shot from DM position. Jabi Alonso had the long shot from DM position. Sissoko and Mascherano do not. And I hate to say it, but Gravenberch at this moment is not the biggest goal threat. He's got the technique, he's got the power. He just doesn't get it on target. I don't know why. Why, man? Why? You can do it. He's not as dominant in the air as you'd expect. He's tall, but he's not aerially super strong. Endo is stronger than Gravenberch in the air, no matter how big Gravenberch is. Endo is a bigger goal threat in the air, and Endo will get more defensive clearances in the air as well if he were to play the 90 minutes. But Gravenberch is sufficient on the defensive side, tracks his man, tactically is aware enough to cover the space, but his game reading isn't as good as Wataru Endo and Alexis McAllister, but he can do the job. He can do the job in a single pivot, he can do the job in a double pivot. He's obviously very strong in 8 positions, can turn a man easily, one of the best ball progressors in terms of running with the ball in our squad, kind of like Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain used to do. In the 10 position, he can play ball in terms of playing the through balls. He's actually one of the best through ball players in our squad, but he doesn't find himself in 10 so much because we need him in the 6. Not expected to score that much. And on the whips as well, very lacking. He has 1 assist that crossed to Salah from the peripheries on the whips. His crossing ability is a little bit lackluster, but he offers an option out wide with physicality and his running power, and he'll always be effective as well. So offensively, powerful. In the 6, powerful. In the box, useful. In the opposition box, so. Then we come to Dominic Szoboszlai. Now, we know all about Szoboszlai. I've done a whole video on Dominic Szoboszlai. So we know about Szoboszlai here. We know about his long shot ability. Now, it's kind of weaned a bit with Slot compared to Jurgen Klopp. And I'd like to see him make late ball runs like a Lampard, get into the ball, be the dummy runner past the Jota, past the Salah. But his game is one of intelligence. If you've ever watched the anime Hunter x Hunter, Killua, in between Hisoka and Gon, you know what I mean. He's got to be the buffer between Salah and Trent. When you have generational talents who specialize in a particular thing, like Salah and Trent, you, on the right-hand side, have to be game intelligent to let them do that. You have to unlock them. You have to unlock them. Now, Trent nowadays doesn't go beyond this kind of arc here or this kind of arc here. On occasion, he pops up here as well. That's the heat map. Nice heat maps, right? Here's a cone. No. Actually, should I put the cones there? That might be fun. I haven't really used the cone feature much. But look, there's Trent's spit areas of influence. Salah's areas of influence are these 3 cones here. I'm going to start using the cones. Do you like the cones? Let me know in the comment below. So Szoboszlai has to kind of sacrifice his game in a way to allow Trent to do his thing. So he might need to underlap. He might offer the width so Trent can underlap. He might need to overlap so Salah can come inside. If Salah is on the width, he needs to give the option for the laterals for the squares. If Salah's coming in, he's always got to maintain the distance for lateral. He might need to make the perpendicular run to the back post so Salah can come inside as well. Szoboszlai has to be game intelligent, and he is, right? For all the physicality he's got, he's game intelligent. But as I made the video on Szoboszlai, what he adds is something that not many other players can add in world football. He almost outnumbers every midfield by himself for the fact that one moment he's in a double pivot, and don't you underestimate that he's in the double pivot a lot. Even though he's a 10, the most advanced, he's in here next to Gravenberch, so Maka can sit there. He's in the half side position, the right position. He's in the half-back position. He even appears in the centre-back position, right-sided centre-back, to let Trent bomb forward if on the transition he gets back first before Trent, because Trent's not really lazy running, but he hasn't got the running power. But then the running power really makes it his own, because not only has he got the acceleration, he's got the willingness to get back in there to give the option for the ball out. He's there for the penetrative ball from a Gravenberch, from a Trent Alexander-Arnold, right? And with Arne Slot's system, we find him more in the right-sided 10 position, Mazzala, than the left-sided 10. Slot really likes McAllister here, working with Luis Diaz, working with Gakpo, working with Andy Robertson, and Szoboszlai, Trent and Salah, specialisms, right? That's another facet to why we do so good this season, because familiarity, you train it in training, you train it in a match. Salah, Szoboszlai, Trent, Robertson, Gakpo, Diaz, Curtis Jones or McAllister, Gravenberch as a central pivot. Everyone kind of knows what the player is likely to do, where they want to receive the ball. And Szoboszlai is a constant menace. And 2 times he's run how many? 12 kilometers. He's run more than 12 kilometers in 90 minutes. That is some yardage and distance. And you see him actually busting a gut gung-ho, Gambade style later in the games as well. What a machine is Dominic Szoboszlai, right? And that brings us to Curtis Jones. We know about Szoboszlai's crossing and his shooting. Underrated heading ability as well, but not consistent. Curtis Jones is an interesting one, very interesting one. Now, he really suits an Arne Slot system for the fact that he's a total ball player. Total Dutch football, total football, Cruyff, the dream team. Curtis Jones, Cujo. What you get with Curtis Jones is the comfort of a Gravenberch bringing the ball across and laterally. His first touch is immaculate. In fact, his first touch amongst the 4, between him and Gravenberch, might be the best, Curtis Jones. When you have a touch so good, an ability to dribble. Remember in the youth leagues, he was dribbling like an absolute monstrosity, dribbling like a beast, couldn't dispossess him. He's a crucial player for England 21s and now made his way into the full England squad as well. When he gets the ball, he's not losing the ball. He's got game intelligence to hold the ball, play it around, play it. He's not the most exciting. He won't do the big crosses. He won't do the deep through balls, whatever. But he's your roaming ball carrier, like a Gravenberch, except he operates higher than Gravenberch in a harder position where it's more congested. He offers the whip. He's genuinely decent on the whips because he can try to go around the outside. He can try to work the ball in, play your 1-2s and come back. He is a late ball runner as well. He arrives late into the box. He's actually got better late ball running ability and timing than Dominic Szoboszlai to get in the box at crucial areas, right? Is it to do with game intelligence? Is it to do with tactical instructions? Is it to do with natural offensive capabilities? Curtis Jones wants to score and wants to assist. In and around the area, if you're a tick-attacker ball playing trying to score the perfect goal, you want a Curtis Jones in and amongst that because he makes the right decisions. In this area, he doesn't really release the ball quick enough, but he does the same thing Wijnaldum does because Wijnaldum was guilty of slowing down the play as well. Slowing down the play. He probes. He changes the angle of attack, and then he roams again into the wandering positions where he can operate. And that's why Curtis Jones is trusted by every manager. He's professional. He's a proper footballer. He can shoot, as he's shown against Everton. He can arrive late in the box. And have you noticed when he does shoot, he's pretty accurate. At least much more offensively accurate than, Gravenberch. So when you have Curtis Jones, Endo, and I'm not going to include other players like Tyler Morton for now because I wouldn't really consider him a first team player in the same way that these guys are. So let's put Mac, Szoboszlai, okay, and Gravenberch. Do they pass the test to compete with the best of the rest? Okay. Defensively in the box, doing your job to cover the space in front of the box, this kind of area. Endo. Yes, absolutely. Former centre-back, a beast. Gravenberch, yes. When we're man down and Gravenberch plays centre-back and defensive midfield position, my goodness, effective, especially because he's a total footballer. McAllister, wishy-washy, iffy, but marks the space, responsible, doesn't lose his man as well, not aerially dominant. Curtis Jones is quite effective on here and win a lot of fouls, and they actually win some fouls as well. Not great heading ability, okay, but harder working and defensively responsible. Szoboszlai is a maniac and super defensively responsible, almost at times overboard in terms of I'm right back, I'm right wing back, I'm DM, I'm number 10, I'm right wing now, I'm making the false one, I'm dummy 10, I'm going to the 9 position. Szoboszlai is just a super character, superhero. So all of them capable. Maka probably weakest in amongst them in the box. Defending the whips. W. That's a win. Endo can play fullback position, crunching the tackle, seeing them out as well. Robertson only committed for that tackle because he knew Endo was covering him and he knew Endo's going to win the ball or foul 100% of the time. 100 out of 100 times Endo will win something in that situation or clean the man out. Who cares? The ball ain't getting passed one way. Endo, yes. Curtis Jones, luxury studio right back on occasion to get more game time. Useful. Not the cleanest tackler, not the fastest, but work endeavour. Useful because he's not going to lose the ball. Szoboszlai, yes, he can do it. Haven't seen him really do it in left back position, but he can definitely do it in right back position. Gravenberch can defend the whips, but I think he's a little bit lacking on stopping the cross coming in or stopping them playing again. He more or less stands off them, guides them. He does what Trent does, guides them into zones of containment. McAllister, similar, guides them into zones of containment. So in that regard, Szoboszlai, Endo, and somewhat Curtis Jones, yes, defending the whips. Deep lying 6 position, all of them top notch. All of them top notch for different reasons. Destroying, ball playing ability, comfort and possession. Ball playing ability can run through the lines. Not necessarily ball playing ability, but safe and reliable. Ball playing ability, tackling ability, feistiness, the ginger nuts. Central midfield, box to box, right? All of them can do central midfield, box to box for sure. You underestimate Endo doing it, I'm telling you, he can do it. For Japan, he has to do it because he's actually a creative spark in Japan, bringing us transitioning laterally from that side to that side. But in the Liverpool team, he doesn't need to do it. The others are better than him at doing it. They can all do it. Side midfield. They offer different things. Gravenberch can run. Szoboszlai can pass through the lines and he's got a cross. Maka's got a cross as well. Curtis Jones doesn't really have a cross, but he's a safe wide player and always reliable out wide. Endo doesn't really have a cross either. Crossing is his weakest part of the game, and his ball playing speed's a bit slow, and his overlapping is a bit slow as well. But useful. So Curtis Jones, natural. Gravenberch can do a job. Szoboszlai can do a job. Maka is kind of like Curtis Jones, but better at crossing as well. So they can do the jobs out wide. Natural, I'd say Soboslai only Soboslai. Number 10 position. Through balls, yes. Shooting lacking. Offensive natural capabilities lacking. Not a natural, but can do a job. Yes, for sure. Not playmaking ability, not through ball ability, but shooting, constant threat, pressing the 6, counter pressing, very strong. Counter pressing, these three, very strong. Obviously, Endo's a hound, he'll counter press as well, but not really counter press, it's just a standard press where he'll destroy you. Gravenberg with athleticism, yes. Whips, Soboslai, yes. Curtis Jones, yes, even though there's not much product. It's more of a give and go 1-2 wide roaming playmaker. David Silva, Bernardo Silva-esque, Juan Mata, Santi Cazorla, Soboslai with crossing, with shooting, with cutting inside. Maka, just an extra man. Endo, just an extra man. Gravenberg, just an extra man. So, yes, multifaceted. There you go. That is our midfield. They're always available. The fitness, Curtis Jones got over fitness issues. Everyone seems to be maintaining their fitness, which is fantastic. Curtis Jones is the weakest of the bunch in terms of fitness. Consistency of play, consistency patterns of play. Revamp the whole midfield from academy as well. Trent obviously steps into midfield. 1 or 2 other options like Elliott as well. That is why we keep a clean sheet against PSG, against Bayer Leverkusen, against Real Madrid, against Manchester City. Because when these guys are on the pitch, they graft, they do the job. They're here, they're here, they're here, and even on occasion, they're here. Soboslai, left foot, bang. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. Found it useful. Smash a like, subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day, everyone. Miyazaki Man Ichiban means the best right now. Jane, peace.